In an era marked by industrial revolutions, political tensions, and a world on the brink of chaos, a man was born whose vision of power, bureaucracy, and ethics would forever change our understanding of modern society. This is the story of Max Weber, a sociologist, economist, and philosopher who lived at the heart of the profound changes of his time. Weber witnessed the transition from the 19th to the 20th century, a period of significant transformation, and his work reflects this pivotal era, allowing us even today to understand some of the mechanisms underlying social reality. Maximilian Karl Emil Weber was born on April 21, 1864, into a well-to-do family in Erfurt, Germany. His father, a liberal politician, and his mother, a deeply religious woman, provided him with an education that blended rational thought with Protestant ethics. From a young age, Weber demonstrated a voracious intellectual curiosity, reading classics like Homer and Goethe before the age of 13. In his youth, Weber studied law, history, economics, and philosophy at prestigious universities such as Heidelberg and Berlin. However, his life was not always easy. Tensions with his father and struggles with episodes of mental illness significantly shaped his personal and professional development. Weber experienced severe episodes of depression and nervous exhaustion throughout his life, which deeply affected his productivity and well-being. In 1897, after the death of his father, with whom he had a strained relationship, Weber fell into a deep emotional crisis that left him unable to work for several years. He suffered from insomnia, anxiety, and a sense of isolation, leading him to withdraw from academic activities for an extended period. Moreover, Weber lived in a time when tools for addressing mental health issues were limited, and associated stigmas further complicated the situation. Nonetheless, he managed to overcome these challenges and return to academic work, producing some of his most important works afterward. Tragically, his premature death would cut short his brilliant academic career. Italy held a special place in Weber's life, serving both as a refuge for recovery and as a source of intellectual inspiration. Over several periods of his life, Weber traveled to Italy, drawn by its history, art, and culture. These journeys provided moments of rest and renewal while also fueling his interest in Mediterranean civilizations and the Renaissance, subjects that indirectly influenced his sociological thought. In particular, Weber visited cities such as Florence, Rome, and Venice, where he explored the impact of art and religion on societies. These experiences contributed to his understanding of capitalism and Protestant ethics, central themes in his most famous work, The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism. Weber's travels to Italy also offered a temporary escape from the pressures of his academic and personal life, allowing him to reflect and gain new perspectives that enriched his sociological and philosophical thought. The summer of 1914 marked the beginning of a global catastrophe, the First World War. Europe was divided by trenches and alliances, and Germany, as a central power, plunged into the conflict. Max Weber, then a renowned academic, felt the call of patriotic duty. Although nearly 50 years old, he joined the military effort not as a combatant but as a reserve officer in the German army. His post assigned him to Heidelberg, his hometown, where he oversaw the administration of military hospitals. In this role, Weber witnessed firsthand the complexities and tragedies of modern warfare, soldiers physically and emotionally wounded, insufficient medical resources, and a military system struggling to maintain control amidst chaos. For Weber, this experience was not just an act of service but also a living laboratory. He observed how the bureaucratic machinery of the army attempted to deal with the scale of the war. His task of coordinating military hospitals allowed him to analyze how institutions responded under extreme pressure. While he admired bureaucracy's potential efficiency, he also recognized its limitations and impersonal nature, insights he later incorporated into his theories. Bureaucracy can achieve an unimaginable level of efficiency in organizations based on other principles. However, it also risks dehumanizing those involved. Weber understood that hierarchical order and strict rules could effectively manage specific tasks but also stifle creativity and humanity. These observations became the foundation of his analysis of bureaucracy as one of the fundamental forces of modernity. As the war progressed, Weber began to question the purpose and costs of the conflict. While he initially supported Germany's war effort, his stance shifted over time. The war's brutality, the incompetence of military and political leaders, and the suffering of millions led Weber to reflect on the ethics of responsibility. Weber distinguished between two types of ethics, the ethics of conviction and the ethics of responsibility. While the former drives people to act according to their absolute moral principles, the latter demands consideration of the practical consequences of their actions, even when these contradict their ideals. According to Weber, the leaders steering the war failed to balance both. Weber openly criticized Germany's leadership during the war. He believed that the political and military elite were trapped in outdated notions of power and honor, unable to adapt to the realities of a prolonged global conflict. In private and public writings, Weber lamented how extreme nationalism and blind militarism were leading Germany to disaster. Leadership must be visionary, not merely reactionary. Brute force alone cannot sustain a nation in times of crisis. Weber's wartime experience left a profound mark on his later work. It not only deepened his distrust of traditional elites but also reinforced his interest in understanding how power structures could be reformed to address the challenges of modernity. Post-war legacy and final contributions. After the First World War, Germany was in chaos. Weber became a public intellectual, helping draft the Weimar Constitution, marking Germany's attempt to become a modern democracy. Yet, Weber was an uncompromising critic. He believed a political leader should combine ethical ideals with pragmatic responsibility. In his work Politics as a Vocation, Weber argued that true leaders not only act based on principles but also accept the consequences of their decisions, a concept that resonates with the challenges of leadership today. Max Weber died prematurely in 1920 at the age of 56, leaving a legacy spanning sociology, economics, and politics. His analysis of authority, divided into charismatic, traditional, and legal rational forms, remains an essential tool for understanding power. Today, his ideas about bureaucracy, ethics, and responsibility continue to guide generations of students, leaders, and citizens in an increasingly complex world. Max Weber not only explained the world, he gave us the tools to understand and transform it. In every institution and political system, his influence remains alive. This was the genius of Max Weber, a man standing between the past and the future. Like and subscribe for more stories that reshape how we understand the world.